What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are talking the Season 1 finale of A Night of the Nine Kingdoms.
That changes everything.
We believe in egg. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, Doug, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I am fan-freaking-tastic, and let me be the first to say, happy birthday, Doug. That's tomorrow, I know, but I'm saying it now. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, Dave. And also, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Yeah, that'll be
That's
Thursday.
right. In case you are new to Not Your Status Quo, Dave and I share a pretty close birthday. We're a few days or so apart, and like to live it up. So, Keith, are you ready to present us with our gifts and
Yes. Hold on.
Thank you. And I noticed that there are no streamers, no hats. What's going on? Where are they They're coming later,
Orchestra,
right?
come on in. Orchestra. Okay, hold on a second. Orchestra, come on in.
Wait,
Actually, you know what? We should probably hold off and maybe talk about Duncan Egg first.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
before we do that, Keith, how are you doing?
Gentlemen, I am
Not as good as me and Dave.
definitely not as good as the birthday boys, the birthday twins. None of us are twins on this podcast.
We're
triplets.
all boomer twins.
And Keith forgot the hookers and blow. So,
Keith,
I didn't forget it. I used it all myself. I'm sorry.
oh man, first 5 minutes. This is getting monetized.
All right, let's talk A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, The Morrow.
the Morrow.
It starts off kind of how you would expect. Dunk looks pretty miserable and upset. And Lionel is talking to him, having his maester look him over because he's in pretty rough shape. And, you know, he wants him to come back to Storm's End with him.
Mm-hmm.
Dunk thinks he's bad luck. And
I can turn your wildest ideas into a song. Just describe it in a few words. Choose a song.
How you doing, guys? Go ahead.
Oh, hi.
Go ahead. Sorry.
is your AI assistant out of control?
Yeah, it popped up. Sorry. Had to shut her up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that was as Lionel puts it, that's a shit maester.
That, yeah.
That was great.
Like, the maester's just like, this man is dead. I can't help him. Get out,
Like,
the hell out of here.
An itchy asshole is too much for you to handle. Get out of here, witch.
All I know is that the cure for an itchy asshole is not putting hot mustard on it. Don't.
Really?
Yeah. Don't.
How do you know that, Keith?
Oh, I read it in a book. I was at the Citadel on my maester's training. But yeah.
Yeah, his maester was no Samuel Tarly. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God. Well, Brian Mulheron's already taught narcoleptic episode. So it was a little too slow for you, Brian, actually wrapping things up because like most of Game of Thrones episodes, the penultimate episode is where all the stuff, and this is kind of the fallout. And there was still a lot of really good stuff in here, you know?
Oh yeah.
Especially Lionel's, as Dave was talking about in the chat before this. You know, you come with me, I'll love you like a brother. You don't come with me, I'll hate you like a brother. But either way, he feels like, you know, Sir Duncan is basically a brother.
Which is really cool. I mean, he already put his life on the line for him.
Yeah.
And he felt like it was worth it even afterwards, even though he didn't have such, you know, nice things to say about Baelor.
Yeah.
But you expect
noticed
that from a Baratheon.
Dave, did you pick up on Leah? There's definitely already some animosity between the Baratheons and the Targaryens.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, not having read all the books, I didn't realize, you know, how far back this kind of thing went. I honestly thought it started and ended with Robert. I had no idea that they had, you know, a little bit of headbutting back then. So when, you know, Dunk is talking about like, I feel bad, you know, he was a good man. He, you know, risked his life for me. And poetically, it does sound like, yeah, he more or less did. But when you actually listen to what Lionel says, and he's like, no, man, he went up against his own men. They, of course, weren't going to hurt him. It was, stroke of bad luck that his own brother hit him with a mace. So,
So would you
Yeah.
say he actually did risk his life doing it since he did end up dying from it? I mean, Lionel's right. I think he approached this being, I'm going to do the right thing and support what knights are supposed to be, thinking, yes, he even said, I'll take on the Kingsguard because they're sworn not to hurt me, and I'll distract them while other things go on. So I did think he did join it, but to do the right thing. He didn't risk nothing. He did risk family breaking, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And, but I think Lionel's sort of, and I don't think it's just Lionel, because we heard Raymond in a few episodes before saying they're all aliens, and the worst thing they can do is have kids and all this other stuff. So it runs
the only
deep.
good dragon's a dead dragon.
And I just want, oh my God. And Brian said, nobody needs to see you walk back to the Shire. It wasn't like it was a 20-minute scene, dude. And it was very nice because you saw his mentor, Sir Arlen, kind of with them, and then fades off a different direction while they travel to Dorne. And we jump to the end. Thank you, Brian. But
okay, I'm going to let you walk through it. I'm not going to jump all over the show. So go ahead. We'll do it in our format.
yes. And then next we see, Baelor's funeral pyre and him burning and his family around it. And Dunk, comes up and he's talking to his son. And his son, which we saw from the trailer, why did he die and not you? And he was like, I'm asking myself the same thing. You can tell he's struggling dealing with the three people who died defending him. And he's just a simple hedge knight. He's not very well known, he's having a very tough time dealing with what transpired on the Trial of Seven. He's not happy and gloating, and he's not like after the U.S. Olympic hockey team won the gold medal. He's not dancing around and partying with the FBI director. Nothing like that. He's pretty depressed. He's having a rough go of it.
And this is all pretty common for stories that take place in the Game of Thrones universe. If there's anything that George R. R. Martin doesn't shy away from, it's not making, a fantasy story all happy and rainbows and smiles and, magical wizards. Sometimes you get down and dirty in the mud. People die that you don't want to see die. And I think the way that people were talking about, the prince who just died, which, by the way, I did not realize they were going to have his funeral pyre right there. I figured they'd at least take him back to King's Landing. But, the way they were all talking about it, it seems like most people are in agreement, even his own brother, that he would have made the better king. Everybody all seems to agree that, the current king, he's getting old, it's only a matter of time, and he would have been the perfect leader. But now he's gone. And how frequently does something like that happen in Game of Thrones, where somebody who would be a good leader is killed off?
And once
Jon
again,
Snow, he wasn't killed, but Jon Snow?
think about it. In this universe, you do the right thing, which he did. He stood up for knighthood and defending the innocent and the weak, and he ended up, it cost him his life.
Yeah,
And
it seems like doing the right thing in this universe always leads to some sort of trauma or bad luck. I mean, look at the very first season of Game of Thrones. We've got Ned Stark, and Robert says to him on his deathbed, "You're the only one that I trust. My son isn't ready. I need you to lead the kingdom in his stead." And he would have probably made a better king, a much better king, and would have gotten things on track. He would have done the right thing. But now, then, of course, Game of Thrones happens, and you can't have good people on the throne, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Tommen was the king.
for what, all of the 1 week he was there?
He did a good job.
Yeah. He wasn't a bad guy.
But, we also see him talking to Raymond, and he has a new wife, or soon-to-be wife, who has his child.
Yeah.
That's quick.
I swear to God, these people are dumb as shit sometimes.
Well, you know,
you could even see it on Dunk, and Dunk is not the brightest bulb in the box, and even he's like, "Oh, really? You don't say?" So
Oh.
she's
Well, okay. Congratulations.
right.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's already with child, huh? One night. Okay.
yeah, she's pretty far along for that one night. But think about all
She
that
shows
happened.
her belly.
Yeah.
And it's almost like she almost like gives a look to Duncan, like better not rip me out. I've got a good thing here.
Shut your
In
mouth,
Westeros, it's a 9-minute pregnancy rather than
Yeah.
a 9 month
Right.
in Westeros.
Well,
Oh man.
not to jump with something that happens later, but you know, Raymond Fossaway had a lot happen in his first season. He was knighted. He founded his own branch of Fossaway with his green apple. He pummeled his dastardly cousin. He has a new horse. And he has a new wife. So, you know, a lot happened for that young man. So, you know, he's a little naive too. Not as naive as Dunk was at the beginning.
And
But yeah.
I assume that only good things will continue to happen for him.
If we even see him again, because these are going to be one-off stories.
I know we'll see some. I'm sure we'll see some of the characters again, but yeah, we may not see. But we may the whole Fossaway break-off may turn into something where Dunk and Egg go help Raymond against the Red Apples. Hopefully that happens because I do like his character. I'd like to see him again. Now, if I could only pick one, I would definitely want to see Lionel in every episode. But
Definitely.
you know, and then as he's talking to him, he's called to Prince Maekor, who's basically feeling a lot like Dunk. He's not in a good place. He's talking about how he will always be questioned whether he meant to kill his brother, and if you know he didn't. I think that saw his son in trouble. He kind of lashed out. You know, hit his brother.
The public, they don't care. I mean, this even in a fantasy story, like I mean, we see this in real life. It happens all the time. People just jump to judgment, and he's not wrong. And I like how they have like just a brief moment where they kind of agree on the same thing. Like they're going to judge me. They're going to think I tried to kill my own brother, but at the same time, they're going to be talking about you too.
Yeah.
They're going to say, you know, why did this unknown hedge knight decide that he needed to challenge the royal family and then get the best one of them killed?
Yep. And he's even saying,
he,
go ahead, Dave.
Well, they just had a bonding moment, I thought. I felt like, you know, no matter what conclusion they came to with Maekor's offer, that Maekor was he's going to understand either way because he understands what he's going to go through. I thought they bonded in that moment.
They definitely did a little bit, especially
It
with.
was a very grief-driven bonding, but yeah, I agree with you, Dave. But I like the sort of moment that Dunk is having with himself. Like he's even questioning himself in front of Maekor. He's like, you know, I knew that if I didn't accept the challenge, I'd lose my hand and my foot. But now I'm wondering, could I have gone without my hand and my foot? And he's really puzzling that out in the moment. He ends up coming to a conclusion that no, because I could give my hand and my foot to the realm. Maekor is like, again with this, you know, happy fantasy BS. No, unlikely, man.
You know, they don't understand sometimes that in this grief moment, you know, they're not going to see things straight. You know,
Right.
Dunk has no idea what his future holds or where it is. Maekor, you know, doesn't really understand. But think in this moment, his brother died. He just said he's sending his son to the free cities to hopefully learn something. His eldest is a drunk, and
Yeah.
you know, not much for that. And his youngest would rather hang out with a hedge knight than his family. He's like, man. He even says, you know, Egg is my last chance to raise, you know, someone honorable and stuff. And you know, he wants him to come to Summerhall and Egg be a squire and he'll be my sworn sword and stuff. And he's like, no, I have had my fill of princes. And he's like,
I get
okay.
that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's like,
Yeah, and he was
look,
totally cool with it. He didn't punish him or anything.
Yeah,
Which back in Westeros, you would figure, all right, you said no to me. Well, I'm just going to make life hard for you. He
hmm
was just like, okay, well, I understand. That's fine.
And I've noticed in this series, I don't know if maybe because the Targaryens were like, losing a lot of popularity, or if it's just a choice made for the show, or what the deal is, but I've noticed that they give Dunk a lot of leeway to just kind of speak casually to the royals like it's no big deal. Like you see in a bunch of other, fantasy shows, cartoons, comics, whatever, that it's it's expected that if you don't, bow and kneel and show respect to these lords and ladies, think that they're, better than everybody else, that they could kill you right then and there. But Dunk, who really doesn't seem to understand all of that, doesn't seem to get it, and they know that he doesn't get it, and so they're like, whatever, we're not going to try with this guy. Okay, yeah, just talk to me like some dude.
Well, remember, it all goes back to that episode where he's like eavesdropping on him, and they're like, "Hey, get in here," and he's like, "Listen, I want to enter the lists, but no one knows the guy." And they start talking to him, and they realize, like you said, he's so naive, doesn't really know what's going on,
Yeah.
and they kind of accept it, and that build the foundation to him just being able to do it because he is so honest and earnest, and just a green, naive knight. And it's funny because, like Dave said, he's like, "No, I've had my fill of princes," and it's not like, "How dare you, sir? I made you an offer that 1,000 knights would jump at." He's just like,
Right?
"Okay, I respect your decision."
And
Basically,
Dave's right. Normally, that would have been like they would have made his life miserable. They would have, put him in a jail or stripped him of his, like, okay, well then you're not a knight anymore, or okay, well then we're going to exile you to such and such, or do whatever. And yeah, like we'll feed you to a dragon or some shit. And it's like they're like, oh, okay, you've had enough with prince, like our princes of this. Sure, cool, man. You know what? We're sick of them too.
I guess that means if you're sick of princes, that you're not going to go with any other family either. So
Oh,
you
I
probably
didn't think
just
of it
gonna
that way. You
you
got a
know,
good point.
and so you'll be out there on your own, hedge knighting it up.
Yeah. Oh, what was the line that he said? Like, um, oh, I'm trying to remember how it went. It was something like, there's as many hedge knights as there are hedges in the realm, or something like that.
yeah.
Yep.
There's barely
Killer
any,
line.
worthy to sit on the throne or whatever. But there's there's as many hedge knights as there are hedges.
Yeah. God, so many killer lines in this show.
And of course, while he's declining this offer, Egg is sitting right outside, and when he's leaving, he sits with him, and he doesn't know what to say really. And Egg's just like, "I guess you're maybe not the knight I thought you were." And
That had to hurt after everything he went through.
but I think Egg is smart enough to know too. Hey, what's all happened to him, and all these men who died for him. He understands how Dunk is and how it's affecting him. But I don't think Dunk understands what he can offer Egg until he meets up with Daron later. And he explains to him, you know what? Aerion was just like that when he was a kid too. He loved fishing. And now he's this. And it hits Dunk like, oh, wow. He's going to become another Targaryen prince unless
If I don't
really
get
do
him away from this family.
Yeah, if he stays here, he's just going to become just like the guy I just kicked the crap out of. And that's not good for anybody.
No.
And it's funny that Daron and all of his things, I don't know if it's part of his dreaming, but to be that aware of what his family is. And maybe he had a dream he never mentioned that if Egg didn't go with, Sir Duncan, bad things were going to happen because it ends up Duncan goes back to, Prince Maekor and says, "Listen, I'll take him on as my squire, but we're not going to Summerhill. We need to travel the lands and be with the small folk and everything else." And, Maekor's like,
Oh yeah, I love that. And we'll sleep in ditches, and we'll sleep in some landed knight's manor, and we'll do this, and sometimes under a tree. And he's basically telling him like, look, this kid needs to be away from all the servants, needs to be away from being treated like a royal. He needs to realize if he's going to be royalty one day, he needs to understand how the people live. He needs to learn how to be a good person by understanding the people. And that was so good. That was so true. I loved the fact that because that is literally what would, as as his brother states, that's probably what would have saved his brother from being a dick or a drunk, you know?
Yep. And of course, Egg finds out his hair is growing back, and he sees his fish meal that's sitting there with the knife, and he goes into his brother's room. And he's ready to kill him, which really, that would have been kind of what pushed him over into being more like Aerion than being Aegon. And his dad there and kind of calms him down and gets him to drop the thing. It was a very nice moment. I mean, say a lot of things about Prince Maekor. He's no Baelor. But, in that moment, he realized what his son needed. And I think, shockingly, he didn't approve him to go sleep in the ditches because, of course, no prince is going to do that. But he was there for him when he needed it the most. And I thought that was a nice touching moment because you hear the knife drop and he realizes, hey, I shouldn't do this. I don't want to go down this path, which I think makes his decision later on, but we'll get to that.
I thought he was just going to hide the knife. And when he dropped it and Maekor didn't react, like, what the hell are you doing? He was just like, yeah, I understand. I know what you were going to do.
I get it. I did it myself. No.
Yeah. I killed my own brother, so no. But he just held him in a hug, And so on the base level, above all the, like, the, I don't know how, the apprehensiveness that he's shown so far for the rest of the family, he's still on the base level, wants to be a good father.
And this whole incident with the trial by 7 kind of changed him a bit. I don't think he would have hugged his other sons in that moment. It would have been maybe a lesson, hit him, knock him down. This isn't how you behave and blah, blah, blah. But he takes the more tender, way of handling it, which is probably going to help Egg in the long run. But we do see that Raymond buys a horse. Or buy, Sweetfoot back for Dunk. And Dunk says, no, you should take it. He would be much better on an orchard with your cider and all that stuff, so you take him.
He likes apples.
Yep. As any good horse does. But it was.
Did you already get the flashback? Did we skip the flashback?
I did skip the flashback.
I was about to ask the same. Dave.
But he does. He has a flashback to... Where is it? Oh, yeah. And he asks Arlen why he was never knighted.
And he freezes. He's passed out for like 30 seconds there, but with his eyes open.
Now, I have a question for you two about that scene. Arlen, I like how he starts off like, have you heard this story before? Yeah, man, you've told me many times. I know this story. And, oh, okay, well. And as you said, he asks him almost like and I was wondering, do you think this is a real flashback where he actually asked Arlen, why did you never knight me? Or do you think this is sort of like a daydream or like a wish that he wishes he would have asked this back then? Because the way that it was framed, it didn't feel like an actual memory flashback. It felt more like Dunk thinking to himself, why didn't he ever knight me? Or, I should have asked him why he never did. And I was starting to wonder, I'm like, so did he actually die in that moment? Or was he just zonked out for like a couple of minutes and then all of a sudden started speaking up again? I couldn't tell, honestly. And I'm sure that's probably on purpose. I think they want to leave it, vague and open. So we keep asking, is Dunk actually a knight? Did he ever actually get knighted?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, is he going to pass away right there? And he was never actually knighted, but he's doing all this other stuff, saying he's a knight, but he was never actually knighted. I was like, wait a minute, we're going to find something out right now? But then he woke up.
I do think that scene kind of happened that way. And I think after that, we're going to find out, because it left it seeming like he was never knighted, and he's not a knight. I think we're going to find out in future seasons he did end up knighting him before he passed. Because I don't think Dunk would say he's a knight if he was not knighted. He's too honest and he's too, forthcoming about everything that if he wasn't knighted, he wouldn't have said he was. I think we'll find out later that right before he passed or something along those lines, he knighted him. I hope at least. Oh, and
You know
Brian
what would be,
Mulhern says, "Walk like Joffrey if you want to live."
Yeah, basically. Be a huge scumbag, and then all of a sudden you're gonna. Well, I don't know. Even Joffrey, I think maybe he pushed it a little bit too far.
They threw cow pies at you because you wanted to starve them.
Oh man. But yeah, I do hope you're right. But kind of like, after watching this show, I feel like what would be more likely is if Sir Arlen died in the middle of knighting him, and he was just like, in the may you be strong like the flop.
Or he's like,
That's a half night.
"In the name of the Father, be
Right.
strong. In the name of the..."
And he kept waiting for that second.
He just
Oh
keels
gosh, if
over.
they
He's like,
drag this
"Oh,
out
yeah."
for like 3 or 4 seasons where we still don't get an answer, oh Lord.
And then, of course, he's after giving Sweetfoot to Raymond, he's leaving, getting on the road, not knowing where he's going. And Egg shows up, says, "My father agreed that I should serve you." And he's like, "Okay." And they have a wonderful little conversation. I love.
Do you think Dunk knew, or is he really that? Like, I mean, we already know that he's naive and not that bright. But do you think he knew that Egg's father did not actually give permission?
No, I think he believes that Egg
God.
got permission.
Yeah, he believes him. I'm sure of it. I mean, he wouldn't have taken him if he didn't believe that his father said it was okay. He would have marched him right back. It was hilarious in the next scene when everybody's
Oh my
leaving
God!
and he's
Perfect way to end this season.
like, "Where's my son?"
When he came up, did you guys believe that? Because I was like, okay, maybe Maker saw that this would be good for him and decided after seeing the knife that it would be good for, Egg to travel with Sir Duncan and sleep in barns and do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, maybe he saw the light. And then we see the end scene. Where is Aegon? And I was like, egg. But it's great too, because I love the scene. Everyone knows there's 7 kingdoms. Well, they're all wrong.
Oh,
and he
it's
names
great.
them off, and he's like, and then we get
Wait,
a Knight of the Nine
what?
Kingdoms.
Yeah.
That was a very invincible moment.
It really was. Just the look on Dunk's face as he's like working it out, like, wait, why
Why didn't anybody else say this? Why are they still saying this 100 years from now?
And of course, they decide to travel to Dorne, which makes me ask the question. I looked it up because I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
The next book, The Sworn Sword, is not in Dorne.
Oh,
Basically, Dunk and Egg enter the service of Sir Ostrace for something Osgrey. And there's a water rights feud with Lady Rohan Weber, and it escalates. Now I'm wondering, what if we know that George R. R. Martin gave the showrunner, Ira Parker, a bunch of unpublished Dunk and Egg scripts, basically.
oh.
Do you think we might get a season 2 in Dorne before getting into The Sworn Sword or The Mystery Knight or any of the other novellas that happened? Because if they knew they were going to do The Sworn Sword next, would they have said that and then not go to Dorne next season?
I don't know. I'm going back and forth on that because I shared with you guys earlier a couple of snippets from this Variety article, and one of the things that the director said, or the showrunner said, was that we kept these conciser. They're start to end. We don't have any cliffhangers, nothing like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure if we're to assume that this adventure to Dorne is going to happen off screen, or if this is one of the unpublished stories that that George gave him. So I don't know. I kind of hope. I would love to see, especially this would be amazing for everybody that has already read the books and, maybe isn't as quick to jump into the show to be like, oh, wait, hold up. This is a story I haven't read before. I want to see where this goes. And what better way to bring in a larger audience than by starting off the second season with a brand new untold story?
It would definitely they could sprinkle in the unpublished ones between all of the published ones to definitely keep everyone entertained. We just don't know.
I hope that's the case.
Me too.
Keith, what did you say that lady's name was?
Which one?
That that he was supposed to in the second book. He was supposed to.
Her name is Lady
Osprey or whatever.
Yeah, what was that?
The knight they're under is Sir Osprey.
Oh,
The water rights feud is with Lady Roanne Weber, also known as the Red Widow.
Is she a horse lord?
It doesn't say. Why?
Because Rohan.
Oh, geez. She is definitely a horse lord. Yes.
Sorry.
No. It's
Me and my references.
It's always good to talk Lord of the Rings. As they said that, I'm like, why would they end the season, saying that if they weren't going to handle it? And I hope they do, because I think that'd be kind of cool. Like we talked about, some unknown story that isn't something published, and then get into the other things, because, there's a lot of room for Egg to learn. There's a lot of room for Dunk to grow.
Oh, yeah.
And, Doug was talking about the article where they were talking about it, and they were like, if they come out every 2 years, that's fine. No, we need them every year.
No,
6 episodes.
There are only 6 episodes a season. 30-minute. No, dude, we need more than that.
I think whatever the story is, they should just adapt it to the story. I don't think we should be looking for anything that's regimented. I think whatever you tell your story, the way it fits, I'll be happy.
And it did say that they could be anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes. And
they seem really set on this 6 episodes thing, and I'm not sure why.
Probably because the stories are all a little shorter. It's not a full novel. They're smaller, contained, self-contained little stories, and it just fits on 6 episodes. But I would imagine if something came up that needed 8 episodes to tell the full story, I don't think they would have any problem doing it. I know HBO wouldn't mind it. They'd be like, 8?
Sure.
Of course, yeah. You're not running off to do a Star Wars trilogy or anything. Oh, yeah, 8. You guys got it. You guys are good.
And he's got to fill those 4 pages in the Book of the Knights.
And how little is the print on it? I mean, how much does he have? How much is 4 pages? They never really explain how many great deeds would be 4 pages worth and how many some of the other, Lord Commanders of the Kingsguard had. But it's nice to know that, he's going to do a lot of great, because this show is very entertaining.
So, speaking of unknowns, I've got a question for the two of you. At one point when, I believe it was when, I think it was the second time Dunk was speaking to Maycor, did we ever figure out who that girl was who came out and said, I don't blame you for ruining my name day?
Oh, that was Lord Ashford's daughter.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, what did she say the first time when she called him stupid or something?
Oh, I don't remember now.
I can't either. But yeah, it was nice of her to come out.
I thought that it's funny that we keep seeing her, and I remember we had theorized before the tournament took place that we thought maybe she was going to be threatened or something, and because they kept showing her, so it seemed odd that they would keep bringing her up unless she was going to serve some sort of purpose. But I don't know, maybe she really is just a little comic relief background character.
Now, got me thinking, remember we were talking about the lady in the crowd during the Trial of 7 who had the red hair, was cheering and stuff. What if that's the Red Widow?
Oh, okay.
As soon as I started researching the sworn sword, I was like, the Red Widow. I wonder if she's called that because she has red hair. Perhaps she was at the Ashford tournament where she first met Dunk. Interesting.
Or did she have her own red wedding?
Yeah, she's the only one who made it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yes. But yeah, excellent, winding down of this episode. We got to see, the emotional turmoil that happens when three knights die for a bratty little prince. But
Hmm.
I mean, overall, just a great season. I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts on season 2 or the future of A Knight of the Nine Kingdoms.
Not so much a thought just yet, but I do have one more question. And again, I'm going to reference that Variety article again. They were kind of doing a sort of kind of a breakdown here and there. They were talking about different parts of the episode. And
Definitely not as
towards
good as our breakdowns.
no, not even nearly as good, and that's why I'm bringing this up because I don't agree with what they said, but I figured I should ask the two of you in case you saw something I didn't. So when they're, just before it cuts to the credits, we see Duncan Egg going down one path, and then we see that white horse veering off into the fields. The Variety article said that was Sir Arlen, or like the spirit of Sir Arlen. I just assumed that was what's his name, who he gave Sweetfoot to.
No, that looked like Sir Arlen. Like it was sort of
Oh, it was
him no
okay.
longer traveling with him. Like he has done all he could for Sir
Okay.
Dunk, and now he's traveling with his own squire.
Well, my old man eyes couldn't tell, and I read that in the Variety article. I'm like, is that who that was? I just thought that was Sir Raymond.
I had to
Some
watch
other
it on my
symbolism
105-inch
is
TV, and I was like, "Who is that?"
well, some other symbolism is that Duncan Egg stayed on the path,
Mm-hmm.
and the other guy went off path
Yep.
into a very unclear path.
Ooh,
Future, he
Dave
could get
getting all
lost in that.
philosophical over here.
Yeah, could get lost in that field.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just hope he is in with the gods now, where he can make the most use of his. No, let's not get into that. But should we rate this episode and the season, gentlemen?
I think we should.
Sure. Well, and following to tradition, I'll go first. I thought this was an excellent episode, but it's definitely not as good as the previous episode. It's hard to, you know, have an episode that good and not have a drop off. So, yeah, this episode was not as good. It's pretty much just like you said, the calm down effect after what happened, and kind of in a way setting up the next season. Saying they're going to Dorne. We don't know if they're actually going to Dorne, but it could be setting up the season. Again, everything made sense. It didn't. It wasn't. I know they had a moment where Lionel was out there peeing again, but you know what? We didn't have to watch it. We just got to see the stream, and so that didn't bother me. They wasn't holding the fire hose in front of the camera. I loved how Lionel just like, either way, he's gonna miss this guy if he doesn't come with them. So he really wants him to come with him. But if not, they're still buds. No matter what happens, he runs into him in the future. They're still gonna be tight. And he earned that over the last what, I don't know how long this show actually takes place, a couple of weeks. And during that time, he just decided that guy is so honest. He
Mm-hmm.
is, I can relate to him. I know what I know I can trust him. He's a brother to me. Within 2 weeks, he learned this, and that's got to be rare in Westeros. And the development of Egg, Egg, I don't know how old is he supposed to be, the actual age? Do we know?
11,
Because
12?
he's
Mm.
very mature for his age. He knows how
Well,
to
he was
talk to
he was
people.
raised as a prince, so
Yeah. Well, and yeah, he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to manipulate people, although he doesn't do it in a nefarious way. And I think we got to see that Makor isn't all bad. He isn't at all, even though he, at one, somewhere down the line spawns the Mad King. It comes from his line. It's, but you don't see it yet. And that when I see scenes from Game of Thrones and they're talking about Sir Duncan, the Tall, and I just love how that ties in, and I didn't see that at the beginning of the series. Like the first three episodes, I rated I think a 5 or the 5.5, and then it really took off, and then it's just been like excellent, shows since then. Oh, he's 12. Okay. Um, and the way this series, not series, but season ended, I can't remember the first three episodes being bad. I just remember them as being set up. And yeah, it was a simple plot. Only certain, not much really happened if you think about it. They just went in depth on everything that did happen. And then he did have the relevant flashbacks to see why things happened the way they did for Duncan. So it's just what I thought was like, writing at first turns out to be excellent writing at the end. So I'm gonna give this last episode, since it was a kind of a fall off from the last one, that with no fault of anybody's. I'm gonna give it an 8.5, and for the whole season, I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, I think this episode did exactly what it needed to do. It brought us down from the high of episode 5, because 4 and 5 were just, cruising up here, and this was the emotional and fallout from what had happened. We saw so many characters be more than just paper thin. We saw Lionel bad mouthing the Targaryens, and Baelor in particular, saying he risked nothing, but we risked everything for you, and you're my brother, and come with me. We could be a force to be reckoned with. There is a war coming. And I don't know if he's talking about the Blackfire Rebellion, the second Blackfire Rebellion, or something else. If that's also hinting at, the I almost call them the Lannisters. If that's talking about, House Baratheon rising up against the Targaryens because they don't have dragons. I thought that was really well done. We got Prince Maekor, who we saw be a lot, I don't want to say a lot different than he was the rest of the show, but growing and learning that, wow, my kids are effed up. I got a drunk, I got a jerk, and then I got a kid who, if I don't do something, is going to turn out like one of them. And he tries to do the right thing. He doesn't take it the right way and turns down the offer that Dunk gave him, but he did it for what he thought was best for his son. And we even see the eldest brother, the drunk, doing what he, coming in and talking to Dunk and be like, if you don't want Egg to turn out like a Targaryen prince, you need to be his knight. Basically, he needs somebody like you to train him, and not, somebody that Aerion had. You can do it. And it really kind of set the tone for the rest of the thing. It wasn't just, oh yeah, we get along good together, so let's go. There were some very valid reasons why Dunk would want Egg, and why it's best for Egg to go with him down the line. And all of the things all the fallout from this show that they don't really go into too much, because we know that Maekor becomes king, and then Aegon after him, and then his grandson is the Mad King that Jaime Lannister gets the Kingslayer moniker with, and so much that happens that ties into Game of Thrones and a little bit from the House of Dragon with the Blackfire Rebellion. It's just so seamlessly put together. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of ties together, but there is when you dig deep. And I just think this show did a great job of making this sort of on a more personal level, a more character driven, instead of the overall political landscape of Westeros, but still having that element there, and have cascade throughout the realms. I just thought it was great. This episode, while it wasn't as good as 5 or 4, it was still really good. I'm going to give it an 8.8, and I think I'm going to give the first season of this a 9.5. I just think it's so well done. This is something, and of course it makes it nice. It's only about 3 hours altogether, since there's 6 episodes in about a half hour. But I'm going to watch it again soon, and I'll watch it again before season 2 comes out. I'm looking forward to House of the Dragon season 3 coming up, but I think this is a better show than House of the Dragon. I think they just do a great job of making it, in Westeros, a Game of Thrones show that doesn't feel as overarching. It's a personal story, and they did a great job. Can't wait to see season 2.
I agree with so much of what you just said. It was almost like you're pulling the words out of my own mouth. But yeah, I think that was one of the things that it took me way too long though to pick up on. Like I didn't realize what they were really doing with this series at first. The I had a similar takeaway to Dave. It wasn't that I didn't really find it boring. I thought it was different, and it was unusual to me because I thought they were making like a sitcom Game of Thrones show. I didn't really know how to take it because when your like opening scene is we'll go back and watch our breakdown and review and it's like and that's kind of how it was for like the first 3 episodes, you know, it was just like kind of odd was the best way to put it, but yeah, I finally started picking up on it. I think last episode where I'm like, you know, I just realized that this is a very character driven series, but specifically Dunk. This is very much driven by Sir Duncan. It's his point of view, and this show is about him, and well, Egg too, but mostly Sir Duncan. Very rarely until we like, and you know what? I think it really was driven home in this episode too, because rarely do we see the camera flash over to any other character when Dunk isn't there. So for them to take that brief moment and have the moment with Egg and he's contemplating, taking the knife to his own brother and his father is trying to comfort him and everything like that. It's like that stood out because that's different from what they've been doing this entire season so far. It's unusual to just hone in on a character out, that's not around Duncan. And I don't mind that. I like that. It's very different, but it's making it very enjoyable because it's kind of like I look at it as kind of similar to, and I know I brought up this analogy before, but I look at it as very similar to early Marvel MCU, where if you caught the Easter egg in the background, cool. If you didn't, it wasn't going to affect the story. So we've got all this background stuff going on. Like Keith, you brought up, the Blackfire Rebellion, and we're probably going to see another one. But all of that stuff is kind of happening in the background. All these squabbles and all these the Game of Thrones, so to speak, is kind of happening regardless of whether Dunk is there or not. But this story is all about Sir Duncan and his Squire Egg, and all the other stuff is going to happen. But it makes for a very compelling show that you want to watch because now we're so invested in what's going on with these characters because we've been following them and now we know so much about them that we want to keep seeing where they're going to go next, what they're going to do next. And gosh, I kind of fell in love with the show towards the end of there, especially amazing episodes. I can't wait to see more. I'm not mad that that it's a self-contained story and that they're gonna just, if we end up seeing them go to Dorne, awesome. If we don't, they decide to continue with the next actual book, I'm fine with that too. Either way, I kind of just want to see more stories. I want to see what's going to happen next. And I guess the only major question that they've left kind of hanging over our heads is, was Sir Duncan ever actually knighted? I haven't read the Duncan Egg books. I couldn't really tell you. I don't know if it ever says in the books. I don't know if it's ever made clear. I don't know all the stories. So this is all new to me, and I'm here for it. And this episode, like you two gentlemen said, it did what it had to do. We knew that this was coming. We've all watched Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and they do this with all of the season finales. They're all about kind of the calm after the storm. Everything's kind of settling into place. We just had the big episodes with the battles, and the fights, and the blood, and the deaths, and now, okay, let's take a breath. The end of the season, we'll wrap everything up, and then we'll see you in 2 years, I guess. So, I'm going to give this episode, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and overall, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Give it an 8 out of 10, but overall, I'm giving this season 1 a 9.5 out of 10. It was incredible overall. Even though there's a couple of moments, couple of episodes where I was like, what is going on? But I think I was in the wrong headspace for a minute there because I was trying to compare it too much to the other shows in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and everything. And that's not what it is. And that wasn't fair of me to do that. So, yeah, I know that's a very high score. but it is what it is. It's a good show. 6 episodes or not, you got to watch it. And because it's only 6 30-minute episodes, if you're, the type where you like to binge watch, that's a quick afternoon. Sure, go for it. But seriously, if you have not been watching the show, first off, I don't know why you're watching us, but if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it because it's an incredible show. Yeah, easy 9.5 out of 10 for this season. I guess we'll see you in 4 years for the next one.
Or this summer for House of the Dragon, but I do hope...
When Egg is driving a car.
Oh, God.
I just hope, if they do have 14, 15, 16 seasons like they want, I hope the banter between them never changes. I hope it is always, Egg is just so much smarter than Dunk, and it kind of shows, and Dunk doesn't really get it, and Egg's kind of baffled by it most of the time. I just love
There's 9 kingdoms. Wait, what?
I still think my favorite part was when he's like, I'm kind of small. A lot of people, don't think I may be big enough to be a knight. Oh, a lot of people think I'm stupid. And he's like, well, is there something more after that? Is this going to be some wisdom on how I could... my problems are my own. And he's just like...
Right.
Well, it turns out they were right. Okay.
Have either of you seen the reels of, sort of like on set or behind the scenes with Peter Claffrey and Dexter Ansel?
Yes.
I love them. They're fantastic. Dave, you got to check them out. Dude, Peter and Dexter, they are Duncan Egg. They are just their characters. They're walking around being themselves, and the kid who plays Egg is just cutest little whippersnapper. Like this one reel that I saw, he's like, I don't really like cussing, so I have to do it for the show, but I don't like it. And I'm like, God, you're just the most precious little actor, and I love the show even more seeing that you guys are like just the embodiment of your characters. Like they couldn't have cast this better.
Okay, Jason, hold on one sec, Dave.
Interview. Oh, God.
Jason Deerham has said they've already committed to yearly season releases. If that is true, fantastic. I did not see that.
Man, freaking tastic.
That's right.
No, but I saw a solo interview with the kid, and he's invested. I mean, he knows what's going on with the character. He knows why the character thinks the way the character does.
Yeah.
And for a 12-year-old actor to be that interested into the character that's playing, I thought it was fantastic. That's why he's
smart.
Yeah, that's why he's a good fit.
One of the back, they were asking him, they were like, do you know what, Sir Duncan was saying on set one day? And Peter, whatever's like, I don't remember. And the kid's like, Backstreet Boys. And he's he's like, did I? And they have film of him singing it. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
That was great. Oh, also, before they even showed it, I love how the kid, he already knows how all this stuff works, and he's like, and then Q right here will show the picture of of the video of him singing, because he already knew they were going to input it in. you could kind of see the sort of embarrassment on Sir Duncan's face. Is like, oh God, they are going to, aren't they?
I should have never done it. I knew there was cameras rolling.
Right.
Man.
Well, all right. That is, anyone out in the chat, you got your ratings for the 6th episode or the entire season. Obviously, we do 1 to 10, the Doug scale, with 5 being average. Obviously, we got some high scores from us, 9.5, 9.5, and 9.0 for the season from all of us. We all really enjoyed it, and cannot wait for season 2. Looking forward to House of the Dragon, too, coming up this summer.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got some news and notes. Are you fine gentlemen ready? We'll start with the MCU.
Okay.
There are some rumors that Avengers Doomsday could be the first R-rated Avengers movie.
Really?
But
Is
okay.
Is Deadpool in it? Is that why?
possibly. But I don't see it. I can't imagine Disney letting one of their tentpole Avengers movies be R-rated. They might push the limits of PG-13 a little bit. I just don't see them making this an R movie.
I could only see them doing that if it was like a Blu-ray director's cut.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that then, but for the theaters, no. A lot of these big companies like Disney, they still shy away from the R rating, even though it's been proven time and time again it does not hurt numbers. Butts are still in seats regardless. More butts probably even. I mean, Dave brought up Deadpool a moment ago. Look how well those movies do every single time. And you'd think that Disney, Marvel would know this, but they're still, I don't know, they've got studio brain.
Well, and I think a lot of it isn't necessarily studio brain, even though it is. But they want the kids to be able to see it too, because they're the ones who are going to buy the toys and want the, stuffed animals and all that. It turns into merch sales.
Merchandising. Okay, you're right.
Not that Deadpool doesn't sell tons of merch too, but they really do want the kids in the seats because it's Disney. They want to be the family.
Yeah, it sets up the fans for longer and longer down the road. You get a 13-year-old rather than a 20-year-old. You got more life out of that.
Man, speaking of, I'm gonna have a lot of movies to show my nephew. Man,
I mean,
a lot of catching up to do.
You get, your 5-year-old kid learning to read on comics, reading X-Men, Avengers, and stuff, and look where you're at 50 years later.
Yeah.
Now, this next one, I don't know how true this is, but I kind of like it. This is another Daniel RPK. So, according to Daniel RPK, Spider-Man is going to be badly hurt at some point in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And the Punisher is going to take him to Claire Temple, who we've heard rumors that she's going to be back in Daredevil Born Again Season 3. And I do believe we've heard some rumblings of her being in this. But once again, I don't know if this is someone guessing, but it does sound legit. She is kind of the night nurse of the MCU. And maybe Punisher definitely knows who she is and maybe how to get to her. And maybe we could see, oh my God, I almost called her June. Not June Temple. Claire Temple show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That'd be nice to see,
Did you see that on they were going to try and reproduce that cover in the movie where the Punisher is carrying Spider-Man?
Oh, really?
I know.
I thought that's what you're referring to because if he gets really hurt, he's going to have to carry him like that. And there was a cover on I don't know if it was the Punisher or on Spider-Man, an iconic cover where he's carrying him and half of his, half of the Spider-Man outfit is torn off of him, but he was carrying him. They could very easily reproduce that in the movie if that's what's going to happen.
That'd be nice. That'd be cool to see. Now, this one kind of goes against something we've heard before, but this is from the showrunner of Daredevil Born Again. He says Season 2 ends Mayor Fisk. And as he puts it, Season 3 is going to be a little bit more Frank Miller inspired.
Darker.
Good.
Darker.
That's what they should have done from the at least in my opinion. That's what they should have done from the beginning when they were first putting together Daredevil Born Again, instead of making what we can still see elements of it in a few of the episodes, like specifically the bank robbery episode. You can see that they started off making it like every other Disney Plus series. But yeah, I think they should have leaned more into the sort of like Frank Miller aspect, or make it more closer from the start to the Netflix Daredevil show. And you can see they did eventually rework it, and it was a lot better. And hopefully they continue down that road with Season 2 and Season 3. But with Kingpin still being mayor at the end of Season 2, that's what you're saying?
No, he's not going to be.
Oh, he's not going to be mayor. Okay, I misheard you. I was like, really? So we're getting no conclusion to that. Okay.
And just in the Dan Mollering out in the YouTube chat, an itchy asshole is beyond your abilities. That's his favorite quote. Yes, I think that was one of the highlights.
That was a
of
great line.
Episode 6. But what the showrunner said,
Mm-hmm.
he said, what we're doing going forward feels more like a return to the Frank Miller era comics. It was fun to play in the realm of politics, but I like something a little more street level.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with a mix of both, but yes, I agree that they should do more street level stories. We were saying that about Spider-Man years ago, and a couple of these other movies and shows, that it would serve the Marvel universe or the MCU universe better if they included a few more of these street level events rather than everything being a cosmic, disaster.
World-ending.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've heard that Tombstone is supposed to be one of the villains in Brand New Day.
Okay.
Just think if Kingpin does go back to just being a kingpin of crime instead of the mayor, perhaps, well, this is if Sony and Marvel can get their heads out of their arses and start working together, but seeing like Tombstone and Kingpin kind of working together against Spider-Man, Daredevil, and some of the other street level heroes, if that's where they're headed, please. We've talked about it. We've talked Devil's Reign thing. You can if you want to get out of politics, that's fine. There's a whole bunch of other stories, and maybe we even get Elektra back, because Elektra was huge in the Frank Miller run of Daredevil. So maybe we get her cleaning lady show is no longer, new seasons are not coming out for that. Maybe it's a return for Elektra, Kingpin back to being the kingpin of crime, fighting against the likes of Tombstone and Hammerhead.
I want to see Daredevil interact with Echo again.
Let's hope she's a part of his army that's going up against Kingpin in season 2. That would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be cool is if they were able to rename the show. Like, it's not always going to be Born Again. You know what I mean? They're all going to go into different stories. Like, I'm going to reference my favorite show, Smallville. There's a button. Because I thought maybe at the end of season 6, when they stopped being in Smallville so much, they should have renamed the show Metropolis or something like that. And it could have been more of his. Well, it definitely was more of his Metropolis adventures after that point.
Mm-hmm.
They could have renamed the show Metropolis and have it be the same show, but the theme evolved. Like you're saying, Devil's Reign. Instead of Born Again, you do 2 seasons of Born Again. All right, now we're moving on to the Devil's Reign story. You know what I mean? As long as we know it's Daredevil, and then like a colon, and then whatever the season is.
I completely agree.
Yeah, they do that with movies. You got Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Captain America, Brand New Day, or not Brand New Day. What was that? What was the Sam Wilson one?
Sam Wilson one? The New World Order.
Yeah, Well, let's see, Jason Deerham, Daredevil and Echo. You could call it Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Yes. Yes.
He gets it.
Yes. I think we know what season 3 will be called. But okay, now this is rumor-esque, because we're still not sure who Sadie Sink is playing, but according to the Beyond reporter, she is going to be playing Jean Grey in 3 upcoming Marvel projects: Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Secret Wars, and then the X-Men. So if this is true, they are starting to cast the new X-Men for Phase 7.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, unless they're inventing a brand new story, but that's kind of rare for, well, it's mostly rare for Sony and Marvel to do that, unless we're talking about a Secret Invasion.
Special investigation?
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of what is a comic book story where Spider-Man and Jean Grey, prior to being a part of the X-Men, ever interacted.
I can't think of any.
Neither can I. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't buy it. I think
You don't buy
what
that
is
she's playing
happening
Jean
is-
Grey?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so
I
either.
don't. I think what's happening in this, I've complained about this before. I think people see actress with red hair, therefore must be a character with red hair because hair dye doesn't exist and neither do wigs.
Thank you for
Right, so
confirming that. Because when
Well,
I
and
show
then,
up at the next stream with a full head of hair, that's real hair.
well, my
so
question would be like, so there's going to be multiple characters that they don't recast after Secret Wars?
I think they're going to recast. I think the X-Men will be newer actors. And I think there will be
I
some
hope
roles
so.
they don't recast, but I think some of the main characters will be recast if they really do a soft reboot like we've heard after Secret Wars.
Like Thor? I mean, I've heard that they're working on a Thor 5 movie, and would they recast Thor? I don't think so.
If Chris Hemsworth doesn't want to do it anymore, maybe. But I think he's still willing to do it for who knows how long. And I'm sure, Tom Holland will be Spider-Man for years to come until he's ready to be done and then hand it off to a new actor. I think they're going to, I hope, they stop worrying about recasting actors. It's the character that makes it, not necessarily the actor. So,
exactly.
they
And
can have someone new play the
Well,
same character and people
but
won't.
the actor can really mess it up. I mean, look at Bella Ramsey, what she did to Last of Us. You know,
but that wasn't a recast.
but no, but she was terrible, and that kind of brought the show down. So you got to be able to make sure if you're going to recast, you're going to get the right people. But they've been
Well,
really good
What's
as far as
funny?
nailing.
There was a quote from Daniel Radcliffe. And they were asking him if he wants to play Wolverine, and he was like, "I do not. I don't want to have to follow Hugh Jackman ever. That's a losing situation." They always got to get after a really, iconic performance like Heath Ledger as the Joker. You got to bring in someone like Jared Leto to
To bring
ruin
that
it,
bar
A
back
buffer.
down
and then someone else can
have something
come
to
in and
strive
take it
for.
back over and be good. So
You got to have the buffer.
Right.
so who will be the
This guy
buffer
was
role
awesome.
Wolverine?
This guy's gonna suck, but we're gonna bring it back with this guy.
And cast as Wolverine in Avengers Secret Wars Carrot Top. And they can get somebody
Box
great.
office poison.
I haven't seen him in a while, but wasn't there a good while where he was like doing a lot of bodybuilding? Carrot Top?
Oh yeah, he
Oh, yeah.
got
I think he was like
huge.
doing celebrity boxing or something.
That I don't
Yeah.
know, but he was like getting really swole, as they say. Okay, you guys ready for the next little? We got some characters that we're being told will appear in the next saga.
Sure.
Okay.
The first two is Mr. Sinister and Annihilus. I think those are both
Yeah,
no duh.
I did read that like Mr. Sinister was supposed to have a big part of the next Avengers. I mean, I'm sorry, the next three phases. So he would last past the first phase at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be nice, you kind of build up Sinister, and that can lead into Apocalypse too. We don't need to rush Oscar Isaac back into his foam suit of Apocalypse. Let Mr. Sinister.
Or do we?
We probably do. And I think Annihilus is a nice route to go. We heard he was going to be the villain of the Nova show, which we haven't heard about in a while. We don't know if Nova's going to have a show, a movie. But kicking off this kind of Annihilus and this, annihilation wave type cosmic event would be a good way to have characters outside of the mutant area have something to do in the next couple phases. An Annihilation storyline could bring all the cosmic characters together. We could be doing street level with Spider-Man and Daredevil and all that. Cosmic with them, X-Men get their stuff, and the Avengers can, be doing what they want to do. But I like the sound of it.
Now, I don't know. I don't think I really want to get my hopes up when it comes to like who in the next big bad, if anything, is going to be, because I don't want another Jonathan Majors moment. I don't want where we're told, okay, we're going to have this huge, Kang thing. He's gonna lead like the trilogy. And we're gonna have this whole big deal, and he's gonna be the big bad. Oops, never mind. He did a bad thing. Never mind. We're Kang thing is over. We're gonna end the multiverse saga, and we're gonna pretend like we didn't say all of that stuff at all of these big conferences and everything. So like, I know that they don't. I know that they can't know what's going to happen into the future, but I hate whenever they make these big promises, but half the time there's nothing to back them up anymore. I mean, phase 1 and 2, sure. But like after that point, I swear it was like they just kept saying, yeah, oh, this movie's gonna come out. Check out this, after credit scene, and get ready for this character, and this is gonna happen, and this is gonna be the next. I think we were promised Nova like years ago, and I mean we're Armor Wars. What happened to that? I mean, there's like so many things that have been more or less promised, and nothing's ever come of them. So while I would like to hope and dream that we're going to see all these amazing characters, I don't want to say for sure that, yeah, absolutely, that's going to happen. I can't wait for it. And then only
absolutely,
for them to be like,
he said.
Absolutely.
And
it's almost as if Kathleen Kennedy was announcing them.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing, too. It hasn't been Marvel announcing this stuff. This is all rumors.
These are all just
scoopers.
Online people making stuff up.
Exactly. Because I hope Marvel has kind of learned their lesson. Where they're not going to come out and announce the next 3 phases in every movie and television show for the next 8 years. Hopefully they kind of adopt, as we've talked about before, the James Gunn DC model. Get a good script. They know what their plan is. You don't need to announce 5 years worth of projects out.
Not only that, but the MCU, they need a James Gunn-like person who can be out there on threads and knocking down these rumors as they crop up. Somebody actually pointed that out a couple of days ago on Thread, saying, we need more people like you because we notice that you're real good about this. You don't treat anybody with disdain. You're not, mad at these people. You don't make fun of them, but you don't also give into the BS. Like, if somebody says something that's clearly untrue, you knock it down really quick.
That's a nice foreshadowing into our DCU stuff we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Ooh,
because he was on Threads again for the first time in a while, debunking a lot of things. But, and we like to talk about it. I like to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Are they going to announce Mr. Sinister as the big bad of the next 3 phases? Probably not. But he could be. He could be in their plans. And, while we're talking about recasting and Kang, do you think there's a chance in the near future we may see a new Kang?
Yes. I think once the dust is settled, I do think so. Because I guarantee you've got a lot of writers that probably had really good stories, and they were disappointed that they weren't able to do anything with them. And I can't imagine that Disney and Marvel would be that quick to abandon these probably good stories because they cast a lousy actor or potentially, allegedly a lousy actor. I don't want to make any claims.
Excellent actor, possibly a lousy person.
Right. Yes. So,
but it's like, you don't want to get rid of that character either. He's a huge character.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. He is a huge character that has a lot of repercussions to so many stories and so many connections. And especially since they just finally, introduced to us a good Fantastic Four, it'd be a damn shame to not have a Kang. So, no, I don't think they're going to, just abandon a Kang storyline. I think once a couple of years have passed, maybe people have forgotten all of that stuff. I think I'm like, hey, it would be a great idea, Kang.
I was thinking the next Avengers movie post Secret Wars. We're in the mutant saga, things are going well, and we get a one-off Avengers movie where they're fighting Kang, because there's a lot of Kang stories out there that could be adapted that isn't him being the big bad of a whole phase. It's just Kang taking on the Avengers, and that would be...
I agree.
That'd be pretty sweet. I would like to see it. Yeah, don't waste that character just because the first actor you hired to play him didn't work out. Of course, you did show a scene where every Kang looks like him, but people will forget about that. It's okay.
And they can reshoot that scene too.
Yes, they could.
Plus, there's infinite universes. We couldn't seen. I know I hate infinite universes, but there's no possible way we could have seen all the Kangs.
And once again,
Just like Loki had Sylvie, who didn't look at all like him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they could have a Kang in the same fashion.
And once again,
I mean, look at Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Another good
all
example.
the different Spider-Man. Yeah.
There's a pig. There's a pig Spider-Man.
Yeah,
You
can't
put
wait
some
for,
respect on Peter
Spider-Man
Porker.
Noir. And Spider-Man Noir's coming out. That's Nicolas Cage, for crying out loud. So, but I know it's not part of the MCU.
Isn't he like named Ben Reilly or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Reilly is the Peter Parker
Peter
clone. He's the clone. Ben Reilly is a Peter Parker clone from the comics, which I think they did
hated
it.
the Clone Saga.
I know, so do I.
Ugh.
I don't like clone sagas like Dave doesn't like multiversal sagas. But yeah, I do think they'll recast Kang, bring him back.
I do too.
He'll show up here and there and do some things. But here's couple of other characters that are rumored to be coming up in movies and shows in the MCU. One of them is Gladiator. For those of you who don't know who Gladiator is, he is part of the Shi'ar superhero team, basically, that protects the thing, gives her interest. And if we do see the Shi'ar in a more cosmic level, we could see Guardian and the rest of his like superhero gang. They're kind of like, they always reminded me of the Legion of Superheroes, because they have all these crazy sort of superhero guys that all team up, and they just always remind of the Legion. So we could see that either with the X-Men, because we know Xavier marries the Empress of the Shi'ar, or it could be part of an Annihilation cosmic thing where the Shi'ar, the Kree, and Skrulls and everybody else need to get together. So,
And I mean, I watched X-Men '97. I don't blame Xavier. I'd too. I would too.
giddy up. You know that's right. And then, this next one we've talked about. It's being rumored again. Firestar will appear in a Phase 6 movie or show. Now, once again, there's no hair dye or wig, so it will be a red-headed actress who is playing her, of course.
It is going to be Carrot Top.
Oi, I'm Firestar. Carrot Top, when did you get an Australian accent?
You know what they should do? Remember in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where Gamora says, "Shoot the one that looks like a carrot so they know we mean business."
Right.
It's going to be that guy. You're like, "Whoo."
One that looks like that was great. Those movies are fantastic, man.
Oh, yeah.
God.
It was just on the other day. I was watching it on FX or something. Great
Oh, yeah?
movie. I love the scene where he's like, Rocket. Rocket Raccoon. Now, I don't know, they said in a future Marvel movie or show, Hydro Man is going to show up in the MCU soon. That's a Spider-Man villain he's like the Sandman, only water.
Big Spider-Man villain.
I wonder if he's showing up in Brand New Day in the rumored montage at the beginning where he's going to show his, him gaining ability, his montage of becoming a better superhero. I wonder if Hydro Man will be a part of that, or if it's something else. Can't imagine what else it would be if it's not a Spider-Man project of some type.
Wasn't that already in Far From Home? Wasn't there a Hydro Man in Far From Home?
Well, remember, it didn't turn out to actually be Hydro Man. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what was that called?
A hologram.
A hologram, yes. But still.
a very good hologram by Mysterio. Quentin Beck, as you will. Okay. Another rumored character to show up, Viper, who is a villainess. And, she could pop up in a couple different places. I don't know where she would fit just yet. But these scoopers need to be posting things. So, they're naming every character in the MCU coming in one way or another. But
she'll slither her way in there.
yes, exactly. Still, it'd be cool if she showed up. She is an interesting character. Now, this next is another one of those scoopers who seem to always tell us when trailers are coming out and are almost always wrong. But I wanted to talk about this because we know it's coming soon. supposedly the trailer for X-Men 97 Season 2 is dropping in April, right around the time Daredevil Born Again is released. So since it's coming out March 24th, I'm figuring maybe early April we get that X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer with a release date, which would be nice. And then I believe this is our final sort of Marvel and Marvel adjacent things.
Okay.
So, you guys like your Sonyverse?
Sometimes.
I love the Sonyverse.
Give
That
me
is
some
the greatest
Craven,
thing that has ever graced film.
give me some Madam Web, and give me Rhino. Put
More
'em all-
Morbius.
Unfortunately,
Morbius.
Give me more Venom 4. The
Ooh.
Venoming.
Yeah.
guess what?
No.
It is a Venom project. But
No, Keith.
an animated Venom movie from the directors
Okay.
of Final Destination Bloodlines, and
What?
Tom Hardy is involved in some capacity.
Writing it? I mean, he did help write those Venom movies. Maybe is he going to do the voice?
Yeah, but was that good or bad for him?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird because I liked the first one. The second one was kind of off, and then The Last Dance was a complete waste of our time being at
Terrible.
the theater.
Jesus,
So-
pizza.
But of course, I mean, Venom is a huge character, huge in the comics. You know, Sony's
Sells
not
a
going
lot
to
of
shelve him.
toys.
Yeah, Sony is not going to shelve him for too long. Hopefully,
But-
this can be on par with the Spider-Verse movies and be good and not.
Well, you
something
say-
bad.
You say animated, so yes, I do have hope for that because the Spider-Verse movies, I think, are, despite Sony, somehow really good.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I just Jason Deerham had a comment. Dave, I want you to take a deep breath before I read it. It's trashing one of your favorite movies.
No.
He said Morbius 2, more BS. Now, Jason, settle down. Dave gave it a 5 at the theater, so it's his favorite movie of all time.
5 out of 10. You don't realize. It was incredible.
It's just one of the few times that Doug and I rated something lower than you. That's why we cannot stop bringing it up.
And even, after the fact, I remember rewatching our review and I'm like, I still rated it too high. I think that was still too nice.
Well, I rated it up because of the dance scene that Keith won't let me forget.
The dance scene. I
Doctor Who.
should have rated it lower because of the end credit scene. Which, God, what
Made
was
no
Michael
sense.
Keaton thinking when he zoomed in that one day to record a voice line from a character that he forgot he'd played?
I'll tell you what
He was thinking they got a bag of money for me. That's what he was
There you go. Hey, Michael, you remember the Vulture? No. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we need you to just say some lines. I'm not showing up to set. That's cool. We don't need you.
He pulled a Harrison Ford.
Can you just
He's like,
read
"I'm
these
not-"
lines? Yeah, sure.
Hey, by the way, they keep. This is off topic a little bit. I'm going on a tangent, but I was thinking. They said Blade has been played by Wesley Snipes, so he's been the longest tenure as a superhero and actor. What about Michael Keaton? The original Batman was in 1989.
You're right.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And then he was the Batman in The Flash, which was what, 2020?
I'm sorry, The Flash? They made a Flash movie?
Yeah, it was the best superhero movie ever to that point.
The Flash, semicolon, babies in microwaves.
But yeah, I would think that would break the record. That had to be like over 30, 35 years.
No, you're right.
30.
That I didn't even think of that, but
Yeah.
he started it in 89 and he played him again in 2020 something. When did The Flash come out? I'm trying to forget the movie, but was that 2022?
I think it was 23.
So yeah, that's
23? I want to look that up.
Yeah, look it up because that's like 40 some years between it.
20. Wait, what? No.
The Flash, the movie.
God, even Google doesn't want to. 23, yeah.
Okay.
I put in The Flash and it showed me the series. And I'm like, wow, even Google doesn't want to remember that movie.
Yeah, 2023. So
Yeah.
that's 34 years. So I
Yeah.
would say he holds it.
Yeah, because Blade came out in 2003, and then Deadpool and Wolverine was 20. So that's barely 20 years. Yeah, that's.
Mm-hmm. So Michael Keaton's got to
Well, I wonder if
Yeah.
they're saying no one else has played in between there, because other people have
Oh.
played Batman. So I wonder what the
Consecutive.
criteria. Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Okay. Well, we got little what do they call them? Caveats, if you will.
And that is the perfect segue into our DCU news and notes, because, like Doug mentioned earlier, James Gunn was on Threads talking about a lot of stuff.
He was.
And someone asked him, "Is it true that we're not getting Brave and the Bold until Matt Reeves finish his trilogy?" One word: nope.
It's not true.
And
Love it.
Yeah, someone else said, "Can you debunk Daniel RPK report of you fast tracking the Batman trilogy for the DCU Batman?" And he basically said, "I don't know what that is, but I'm not fast tracking anything other than our scripts currently getting ready to go into production." And then this
Boom.
one,
Good.
this
Do it the right way.
Yep, this is one we had talked about. Is it true that Paradise Lost is shelved? And he said, definitely not. This is my favorite part. He goes, "Jesus, I go on Threads for the first time in weeks, and it's just one insanely wrong thing after the other. What is going on?"
Yes.
A lot of speculation when he's not looking.
That's what I'm saying. I wish Marvel had somebody like that who could, comment on this stuff. But I don't know how attached Kevin Feige is to like the goings on of everything anymore.
I don't think he cares to go on and debunk these things or not.
That's why they need somebody who does, though.
No, they do. I would love it, because it's nice hearing when you hear these crazy rumors and someone comes out and says, "That's not happening. Don't worry about
I like the fact that the one was, "Can you debunk Daniel RPK?" Who is like, God, so many rumors come from this guy.
Yeah, every day he's got a new scoop and a rumor, and I don't know what his percentage rate. I know somebody on Reddit was keeping track of all of the scoopers' scoops and how many actually came true. And I know at one point Charles Murphy had the highest accuracy. He doesn't really do scoops anymore, but I don't know who is the best anymore. It's just so many that never happen. So many just BS ones that.
Quick tangent. Did you happen to see the last night's episode of Last Week Tonight?
I didn't finish it, but I watched. I think I watched the first 30 minutes of it. I got a few minutes left.
It is essentially all about people who lie on Twitter to make money.
Yep.
And how no one can seem to do anything about it.
Yeah. They're like politicians. Just lie and lie and lie just to get clicks.
Yeah.
And then, even if you're looking at, like, if you follow politics at all, both sides do it. They want you to click. And they put some really big
it's always
headline.
something that is some sort of tagline, some sort of picture, whatever, that's going to draw the most like anger or something that's like going to get more reactions. But so obviously, when we're talking about the political sphere, it's obviously more worse generally for like what's going on. But like as far as like what we're talking about with like movies and TV shows, like constantly we're under just an endless barrage of these rumors that most of which are probably just made up, and somebody's like, well, this will give me a few extra bucks if I get some reactions. And it's like
one of the scoop. It was funny because I did not know this until I watched last night. That with Twitter, which is now called Twitter, to steal a joke from.
I love that.
But they get more money if someone who is signed up for premium likes or comments on one of your posts, gets some. And there is a certain scooper, I won't say who it is. I'll see posts every once in a while that says, "Hey, if you got the blue check mark, like or respond to this post." And I was like, that's weird. But now I know because they
Now you
make
know why.
more money
Yep.
if other people that are blue checked
Mm-hmm.
do stuff with their things. We are not verified on Twitter. We refuse to pay.
No,
$8
we're
a
not
month for
paying
that.
Elon Musk to give us a little check
Yep.
mark. And in all honesty, this is really just like a me thing. I've barely ever on Twitter. I only go on there every now and again when I cannot find some sort of like news about a TV show or a movie or something. And it seems like most of Hollywood in general seems to be on Twitter more than any other social media. They definitely are not on Facebook, so I can't really count on that to find out what's going on. And Instagram, again, it's really just for them to like post pictures of themselves and stuff like that. So it's not really good information. So it's really down to like threads, I guess, for DC stuff and Twitter for Marvel. It seems like what it basically boils down to if you want to know what's going on. And then now even that seems to be polluted with all this like made up stuff.
Yeah. Blue Sky, I don't know what's on there. I go on there every once in a while.
Oh
and
God,
there's
I
not
keep
much.
forgetting that exists. Wow.
All right, but are you guys ready for one final piece of news and notes?
Is it Star
From-
Wars?
It is not Star Wars.
Oh, what is it?
Fallout.
Oh,
Oh, yes, of course
hold
we
on.
want to hear about Fallout.
Because I just realized that you still have Marvel Studios up. So I was like, wait, what is it?
Oh, I didn't push it over?
Nope.
No, it says, "What's up, fellow nerds?"
Yeah, it says, "What's up, fellow
What?
nerds, dude?"
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I accidentally paused YouTube somehow.
You silly bastard.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay. Well,
Shame. Shame.
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
Okay, Cersei.
Guys, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm old. I don't know how technology works anymore.
Doug, I make enough mistakes without you creating fake ones too.
Hold on. Let me type that
What's
out
that,
on
Keith?
Twitter.
I couldn't hear you, Keith. It's almost like your sound was off.
Did I screw up the sound again? Gosh darn it. I was still, never forget, having Carrie in studio to talk about Loki,
Oh,
and the sound was off
That
for the
sucked.
entire thing. I will
recorded a whole ass episode. We had like an hour of content.
That just sucks.
That was terrible. But,
Oh man.
so I don't know who this is according to, but Fallout Season 3 begins filming May 1st because Amazon doesn't want fans waiting too long.
Good.
Good. Very
That's
good.
awesome. Also, if you leave ghouls out in the sun for too long, they start to spoil. So
Yeah, you got to make
I mean,
sure.
although we love the boys, look how many years are between those shows.
yeah.
It's just so irritating.
I assume they're probably more likely to allow the boys to take longer because they've got the other supplemental stuff to like go in between. They'll give us a couple episodes of Gen V. They'll give us some animated thing that like nobody's gonna watch. And
Yeah, what was that
It's just
animated thing
about
called?
content.
oh god, I don't know. I just remember it was. I think wasn't it like an origin story for Black Noir?
I don't even remember.
I don't
Oh,
either.
really?
And I
it up.
watched it. That shows how much I.
I did too, and it was kind of forgettable. But yeah, that's probably why they they'll take
Oh,
much longer.
diabolical.
But what was it?
Yes.
Diabolical.
Diabolical.
Yes, oh my gosh, I completely forgot what it was called. All of that, but yeah, I think it's a good move to start. If you want your streaming service to essentially replace TV, then I think a lot of these streamers are going to have to realize then you can't wait 3-4 years for a new season to drop. People are going to lose interest, and you're going to end up with Stranger Things.
Yeah, plus your actors are gonna age out of their parts.
Mhm.
Unless they're, between 25 and 45. That seems to be a good, where you can't tell their age. But if you got like teenagers like in Stranger Things, come on.
Mhm.
Like if they did another season with that cast. We know they're not going to do, Welcome to Derry with that same cast.
Right.
But if they did and they waited a few years, they wouldn't. It's just would not work.
Which, by the way, genius move to, not to gush over Welcome to Derry again because we did that for so long. It's such an amazing show, but that was such a smart move to realize, you know what? Between it part
Chapter
one and
one.
it part two, we had to, age down the characters because they had grown up, and Finn Wolfhard now, looks like a 25-year-old, and so they're like, can't do that again. All right, this is going to be a self-contained season. This cast, we're going to kill off half of them. The rest are going to disappear. New cast. Smart move.
So the other day, I was making dinner. I like to cook in
Mhm.
my house. It's very therapeutic after sitting in front of a computer all day. And
Makes
my
sense.
son was at the table watching his iPad, and he started singing, "A smile is something special. A ribbon is," and he said, "A ribbon is something red." And I looked over and said, "No, a ribbon is something rare." And I'm like, "Wait, where did you hear that song at?"
Yeah, right.
He's like, "Oh, it was a video. It was a short they were playing in the background." I'm like, keeping my eye on you, kid.
Speaking of which, I told you I watched Atomic Blonde, and Bill Skarsgård is in that movie, and I could every scene he was in, all I could think of was Pennywise.
He has been typecast, unfortunately, because he is too freaking perfect as Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Well, should we find somebody to raid, gentlemen?
Sure.
I suppose we could. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got
See
going
Flake
on
of
over on the
Wrath.
old Twitch?
I see
Let's.
Tiny Valkyr in
Yep.
Flake of Wrath.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sarah Jane is on.
Excellent.
Who?
Sarah Jane.
Slayas was on a minute ago. I guess
Ah.
she's done.
Yeah, she was playing that. Oh my God, what is it called? TG was playing it a little bit ago too.
Oh yeah.
It's like New Animals or something like that, and it's these little.
Oh yeah, right. Manimal, part man, part animal. Manimal.
That's a great name.
What do you think? Sarah Jane is just chatting. Tiny Valkyr is playing Marvel Rivals. Decked Out EDH is playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Limited set review? Oh, no, they're
Honestly,
card game.
I think I'm feeling Marvel Rivals. I think that'd be a good fit.
Yeah.
Can never go wrong with Tiny Valkyr.
Yeah. Now, for those of you out there wondering, what are those old, ancient nerds, those 90-year-old triplets, what are they even talking about over there? Did the dementia finally kick in? No. This is a little something that we can do over on Twitch. First off, we know that a good chunk of our audience is now on YouTube, which thank you very much. We love that you're there. But for those of you that are watching us on Twitch, you know that this is our way of keeping things going. And instead of ending the stream, we're going to go hang out with our pal Tiny Valkyr and watch her play Marvel Rivals. But those of you who are best fans, favorite folks out there on YouTube, we can't do quite the same thing. There's not a good way that YouTube has provided to transition over to another live streamer on YouTube, mostly because there's not that many of them. But if you still want to show us some love, throw a like our way. If you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe. We love it. It helps the channel grow. It makes YouTube realize that they should promote us more to other folks. But more important than anything else, we want to hear from you. So get in the comments down below. Let us know what you want us to talk about next, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.